We learned in this recall that we must not be afraid and that we must continue to do what is just and what is right. And I want to encourage all of you to continue to do that as Oakland faces the numerous challenges ahead. I want to thank a number of people, and I want to apologize in advance for not mentioning everyone. I actually shouldn't mention anybody by name, but I'm going to do a few of them anyway. But first, I want to thank all of the volunteers who worked so diligently and so hard on this recall. All of our meetings, all of our precinct walking, all of our times out talking to people, encouraging them to vote for the recall was very, very important, and it paid off well. I want to thank Edward Escobar. I want to thank Tuan No as well, who worked on both successful recalls of the mayor and the district attorney, and whose passion and hard work and optimism kept us going. They'd have all these actions and we were there, and I just want to thank them for their work. Perhaps most importantly, I want to thank Seneca Scott. Seneca believed in us when we sometimes didn't even want to believe in ourselves. I understand now why he is so hated in Oakland, because he does not give up. He believes in his causes, and he's a master strategist. And I understand why so many people are jealous of him. He withstood the lies, he withstood threats to his physical safety. He withstood all of that and kept going and kept encouraging us to keep going. He never doubted that our recall would be successful, even when we doubted it ourselves. He always said, she's going to be recalled, she's going to be recalled, don't you worry about it. So, so I want to thank you, Seneca. I want to tell you that I am proud to be standing here with you and by you, and I'm proud that we are celebrating your vision to recall this mayor. I want to thank the Oakland NAACP and its president, Cynthia Adams, for endorsing the recall and for standing up to the criticism and false allegations, because you, Cynthia, also knew that black people in Oakland in particular deserved better than what this mayor was giving us. Regarding the city attorney race, and by the way, many of the volunteers for the recall are standing here with me now, and again, I want to thank you all. Regarding the city attorney race, it did not end as we wanted it to, but I am satisfied that God knows exactly what he's doing. And God has always placed me where I'm supposed to be in order to do his work. I want to thank all of my campaign volunteers, each and every one of them, who passed out materials, who walked precincts, who talked with people wherever they ran into them and encouraged them to vote for me. I want to thank the Oakland Police Officers Association, the Carpenters Union, the Longshoremen Union, the Empower Oakland, SOS, Oakland Builders Alliance, Black Women Organized for Political Action, California Association of Black Lawyers, California the Charles Houston Bar Association, Black Women Lawyers, Supervisor Nate Miley, and other individuals and groups who endorsed me and who supported me. I want to say that I am proud of the campaign that I ran. I ran and entered the race in a very short period of time. I didn't enter until late July, and I had to hit the ground running. But during this campaign, I refused to compromise my principles and my ethics in order to win. And I will never regret that. That is not who I am. That's not who my parents raised me to be. And that is not the kind of person I want to be. We have to, particularly in Oakland, stand up for what we know is the right thing to do. Too many times we can take the expedient way. We can say, okay, I'll compromise my principles. I'll do this just to get a vote. I am not that type of person. I never will be, and I have very little respect for people who do that. I want as well to let everybody know that I did not resort to smear campaigns. I did not sign loyalty pledges to partisan groups, because such groups often don't have the best interests of Oaklanders in mind. And I have specifically in mind the no coal in Oakland people who don't even live in Oakland, many of them, and who hijack our city budget and insist that we follow and continue to fight a losing battle in court. I want to thank the more than 56,000 people who voted for me for city attorney. That was more voters than who wanted to keep Shane Tao in office. There's still much work to do in Oakland, still a lot of work to do. And I want to reassure all of you that I am not going anyplace. You have sort of unleashed a monster now. And I realize that so many people in Oakland have been feeling that they didn't have a voice. The recallers felt that nobody was listening to them. And so I am going to be out there agitating. I'm going to be out there speaking up. I am going to be out there demanding change because we need change in Oakland. And because there is still so much more to do in Oakland, expect to hear from me. They accused the recallers, for example, as I said, of being anti-democratic. They said that we were reactionaries. Well, of course we are reacting to the terrible condition that Oakland was in, and we were not going to put up with it any longer. We deserve better. We need to hold the city attorney's office accountable. And we need to challenge the city attorney's office as they continue to spend money on this losing coal litigation. The millions of dollars that they've spent on that case could have been used to improve the lives of Oaklanders instead of bowing to one small group of individuals who've been holding our budget hostage. We need to make sure that the city attorney's office gets us out from under that negotiated settlement agreement. We're paying $1 million per year to that monitor who doesn't live in Oakland, doesn't spend money in Oakland, and we are paying $100,000 or more each year to one plaintiff's attorney who is profiting and benefiting from the continued exercise of this negotiated settlement agreement, the continued oversight that has been going on. We've been under federal monitoring for more than 20 years. We have agencies and groups in Oakland who can monitor the police department. We have the Police Commission, we have the Office of the Inspector General, and we have the Community Police Review Agency. We need aggressive action on the part of the city attorney's office to challenge the judge, to make sure that the judge even recognizes that he can't do anything else, basically. So why not let Oakland's groups try to monitor the police department and get away from paying $1 million a year and losing $1 million a year? We just cannot afford that any longer. We need to be zealous in challenging that oversight. And in closing, let me say to the voters who are in favor of the recall and in favor of my city attorney run, that you have shown extraordinary and remarkable courage. Please don't stop. Please don't let anyone turn you around. Please don't give up. We deserve better in Oakland. Please continue to raise your voices, to say we want better, and we are no longer going to accept your excuses for not doing your job and your excuses for wasting our money. Demand change. I will help you. I will work as a spokesperson for you. Let us clean up Oakland. And let us make Oakland the city that we know it can be, and a city we can be proud of. So I really, really want to just thank everybody who supported me. I want to thank as well someone who was vilified and who was just treated so unfairly in the press in particular and by the opponents of the recalls. I want to thank Philip Dreyfus, a Piedmont resident who cares so much about Oakland that he was willing to put his money where his mouth was. And it took tremendous courage because the way they did that man is shameful. They even went to his house and had, and called him out basically, knowing he has a wife and children. And there were Piedmont residents, such as Quinn Delaney and her husband Wayne Jordan, who have pumped millions and millions into Oakland's politics. And nobody ever called them out on it. But when Philip Dreyfus said, I want to help in terms of getting people's voice heard who want to recall this mayor, they acted as though he had committed the crime of the century. So I want to say thank you, Philip. Thank you for the courage. Thank you for the resources, of course, but more importantly, thank you for your courage. You didn't have to do that. You really did not, but you did because you knew it was the right thing to do. So I want to thank you. I want to thank you, Philip, for that. I will take questions from